Well guys, before I start this video off, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a preview here. Nate, the truck we put the cam in and a new 5.3 in, he almost dropped the valve. So he brought it to my work. We noticed it was pretty bad, in pretty bad shape. So we're flat towing it to my house and I'll show you the damage there. But I'll give you a little insight of taking it to the house. Yes. So basically, I know you guys can't see me right now, but basically the backstory is Nate's truck started ticking. He was gonna check it out. We were doing stuff. I said, bring it to us, because while we're working on stuff, we can just pop a, listen to it, pop a valve cover off, check stuff out, whatever. We pop a valve cover off, and I'll show you guys what we see. Not too good at this moment. Really don't know what's going on. We got some ideas, and we only popped one side off, so we're gonna pop the other side off, kind of get a good idea. But for now, this is what we're dealing with.
Yeah, it should happen fast. So
all right, so we're gonna go ahead and start it up.
Be ready in the key.
Yeah. Just tell me when.
I'm ready when you are.
All right.
I don't really know if I want my face as close.
Yeah, I don't know if I would put your face that close either.
Okay, go. There's no oil up here at all.
Seriously?
Yeah, look at, there's no oil in the, there should be oil running down out of this hole and running down here.
All right, do it for like 5 seconds. Just so you see oil pressure. Yeah, there's nothing.
45 pounds of oil pressure. So it's making oil pressure.
Yeah. It's making oil pressure, but it
ain't getting to the head.
As you guys clearly just saw, there's nothing coming out.
No, as soon as you have oil pressure there, the way almost every factory V8 engine oils is it oils the valve, the lifter galley first, and then from the lifters, it pushes oil up through the push rods to the rocker arm tips, and there's no oil coming out of the tips of the push rods or the rocker arms. That's why it ate the valves up. It probably ate the exhaust valves up first, because it could be made of softer material than the intake valves.
Oh, I put it back on. I'll have to show you guys after I take the rockers off.
It's smoked. Valve is smoked, seat smoked. Or not seat, the retainers.
I'm surprised it made it this long, to be completely honest. If it had this problem from day one. Now, if it didn't have this problem
I don't think it did from day one. I think it happened recently. There's no way this thing lasted from day one like that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It would have burned those valves up. Because they said, I got a noise, what?
A couple days ago.
Yeah, like, right before Frankenworth.
It was after Frankenworth, I think.
No, it was like right before, I think.
No, because we had to listen to it when it was there. He wouldn't have been red lighting it when it was
true.
there. All right, guys. So a lot has happened since the last video I recorded for this video. So much, in fact, that the motor is completely out and completely disassembled. We tore this thing down, obviously, to the bare block. Even we pulled the mains out of it, cranks out of it, pistons, rods, everything. So I didn't record very much. Actually, I didn't record at all. Up till the last clip you guys saw, I didn't record anything. Because I was, like, we don't do a lot of work in my garage. So doing it in here is just a little hectic. I mean, I don't have a house right now, guys, so my garage is pretty small. We made it work, obviously. We got it done. But I don't have a lot of room in here to do stuff. So like when I was working on stuff and I would just stay in the engine bay for a while, Nate would go under the truck. you know, Ryan would handle stuff. That was kind of how it went. So I didn't record very much, but the plan was to record with what we found. At first we wanted to just pull the heads off. Well, I don't know if I mentioned this when we put the cam in the motor in this truck, but the guy who put these headers on for Nate welded the headers through and through. Like there's no collector, there's no like V-bands, there's no connection points. Where the Y pipe and the mid pipe meets the actual header, it's all welded. They're in place for forever unless we drop the whole exhaust. No matter what, we can only get one head off because of it. The bottom 5 bolts on the head were not accessible because the header was in the way. We were gonna pull the engine anyway, but we were trying to see what the problem was. So this thing was building oil pressure to the gauge, but the heads were not getting any oil. I don't have the heads here. He took them somewhere, otherwise I'd show you again. Long story short, we found nothing. Things looked okay. The main bearings looked okay. The sides of the pistons actually looked, some of them didn't look the greatest, but nothing was like detrimental. We even had another guy over here. We had Justin, our buddy Justin over here, and he was watching us tear this thing down, and we didn't find anything that would cause both heads not to get any oil. The only thing we could kind of think of is I can't think of the word or the name of it for the life of me, but the bypass valve in the oil pan, whatever that little piece is. I think I could find it. Like I said, guys, I'm sorry. I've had a long day and I cannot think of any words right now. That thing right there. That's a little looser to the push. Like when you push on it, it's got a spring in it. That's a little looser than we kind of thought they are, but we don't have a new one to compare it to. But otherwise, everything was fine. The lifters did have, I don't know if I have the lifters here either. The lifters did have a little bit of scoring to them, and the cam looks good too. So both heads, all the exhaust valves were shot. Now that I'm thinking about it, I really do regret not taking more video because the tip of every exhaust valve was bad on every single one. Some were bad, some were worse than others, and kind of at random. It wasn't even that the ones at the back of the head were worse than the ones at the front of the head. It was kind of at random on both sides. But they were all bad. So either head was getting oil, and we tore this thing down. We tore this thing completely down. When we put the cam in this thing, I mean, we did everything 100% right. I mean, it was nothing that we found, well, we found nothing, but everything we touched was correct. You know, everything was torqued, everything was how it was supposed to be. When we put it together, everything was correct. And he drove this thing for 10, 15,000 miles, and this just started happening. He brought it over to the shop one day and said, guys, I got a little tick going on. He changed the oil, brought it over, and we popped a valve cover off, and then we saw what we saw in the beginning of the video was the valve, tip of the exhaust valve was, it almost dropped a valve. That's kind of where we're at now. This thing, I mean, it's the end of October. The truck's still like this. It was middle of September when I recorded the first part of that video, but I've just been behind. But it's been sitting like this for a while because we already know what we're gonna do we already know what he's gonna do for his power plant. He was thinking about getting this block shipped out and getting it professionally cleaned, perfectly cleaned, hot tanked, bearings replaced, all that, but he's not gonna end up doing that. I can't tell you what he's doing for a power plant just yet. That will be not the next video. It'll either be the next video or the video after. I got another street racing video. I don't know if I posted it before this one or after, but nonetheless, I'm not gonna tell you what the power plant is yet. That is an extremely important video though, so I highly recommend you guys stay tuned for that. That's where this truck is at. Heads weren't getting any oil. We tore the thing down and we found nothing to be the cause. The filter didn't fall apart. The lifters looked like they were performing correctly. The push rods were, you know, nothing. It wasn't like clogged push rods. And the thing that's really throwing us off is it was making oil pressure. So the gauge was reading oil pressure. So that's where we're at now. I might have been missing some stuff. Like I said, guys, I'm sorry. It's been a long couple days. It's been like this for a couple weeks. We haven't touched it yet because we're waiting on his other power plant to get here or to be figured out. But nonetheless, like I said, make sure you guys watch the next video to find out what his power plant is. It's important. So that's all I'm gonna say for now. That's all I can say on most of it. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you guys are enjoying. And also want to say huge thank you to everyone who subscribed. Just hit 5K subscribers, which I'm extremely excited about because it makes me feel like this is actually starting to go somewhere. And I know I need to put a little more effort into it. Things have just, and it's not an excuse, but things have just been hectic. I've been doing side jobs after side jobs and different side jobs or whatever the case is. So things have been hectic. Some changes are coming. I'm gonna be changing my name. I don't like my name anymore, and there's a lot of things I don't like about it. Want to change the name, change the face. I'm gonna start posting on Instagram more, getting the videos where they should be. But nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button. If you made it this far, comment down below that you made it this far. Say what's up. And I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next vlog.